Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about something essential in a world that's increasingly noisy, demanding, and interconnected: the power of privacy, solitude, and silent growth. It's not an easy path, it's one that requires discipline, courage, and a clear sense of purpose. But it's a path that leads to profound personal transformation. Privacy is not about secrecy or an avoidance of connection, it's about protecting what matters most. In today's world, we are often encouraged, sometimes pressured, to lay our lives bare, to share every thought, every moment, every plan, as though transparency is a virtue in and of itself. But consider the cost of this relentless openness. What happens to the parts of our lives that should be nurtured in quiet spaces, free from external scrutiny? Privacy is not a retreat from authenticity, but a safeguard of it. It's the boundary that ensures the most meaningful aspects of your existence remain untainted by the noise and chaos of the external world. There's a vulnerability in sharing too much too soon. It's not just about what others might do with that information, it's about what sharing does to you. When you vocalize your dreams prematurely, there's a subtle yet profound shift. What once felt alive with possibility can begin to feel fragile under the weight of other people's opinions. This isn't to say feedback is without value, but timing is everything. Before your goals are fortified by your effort and commitment, they are like seedlings, delicate and easily damaged. You wouldn't plant a garden and immediately invite a crowd to trample through it, so too must you guard your aspirations in their infancy. Moreover, there's a peculiar psychological phenomenon at play when you share your plans. Research suggests that simply talking about your intentions can create a premature sense of accomplishment, tricking your mind into believing you've already made progress. The result? A decrease in motivation and a dilution of the energy you would have otherwise channeled into action. By keeping your goals private, you maintain the internal drive that propels you forward. Your ambitions remain yours, untainted, unchallenged, and unburdened by the expectations of others. There's also the issue of influence. When you expose your inner world to the outside, you inevitably invite commentary. People, often well-meaning, will offer their perspectives, their doubts, their unsolicited advice. This can be a double-edged sword. Even the most supportive feedback can subtly redirect your path, steering you away from your own instincts. Worse, criticism or skepticism can plant seeds of doubt where none existed before. Suddenly, the clarity you once had is clouded by questions that aren't even your own. Privacy acts as a shield, allowing you to develop your ideas fully before exposing them to the elements. This principle of privacy extends beyond goals and aspirations. It applies to every sacred part of your life. Your relationships, your struggles, your victories, these are not for public consumption. When you share too openly, you dilute the intimacy and authenticity of those experiences. A shared moment loses some of its magic when it becomes fodder for likes, comments, or casual discussion. Privacy is a way of preserving the sanctity of what truly matters. It's a way of saying, this is mine, and it is too valuable to be displayed. Living privately also cultivates a sense of personal accountability. When you're not broadcasting your every move, you become the sole witness to your journey. There's no external audience to applaud your progress or to call you out if you falter. This forces you to develop a deeper sense of integrity. You begin to act not for the approval of others, but because it aligns with your values and your vision. In this way, privacy becomes a crucible for character. It strips away the performative aspects of life and leaves you face to face with yourself. What you do in the dark, away from the gaze of others, is who you truly are. This isn't to suggest that you should live in isolation or keep your life locked away. Connection and community are vital, and there is great strength in sharing with those you trust. The key is discernment. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Sharing should be an act of intention, not impulse. It's about choosing the right moments and the right people, those who will nurture rather than diminish what you hold dear. When you live with this kind of intentional privacy, you're not cutting yourself off from others, you're ensuring that your interactions are meaningful, that they add value rather than detract from your journey. In the end, privacy is a form of self-respect. It's a recognition that not everything about you needs to be understood, validated, or approved by others. Some things are meant to be yours alone, to grow and flourish in the quiet. By being private, you create a space where your thoughts, dreams, and relationships can thrive, free from external interference. It's in this protected space that your truest self can emerge, unshaken by the fleeting judgments of the outside world. So protect your inner world. Let your life unfold in its own time, without the pressure of constant exposure. Understand that privacy is not a wall, it's a sanctuary. It's the foundation upon which you can build a life of depth, meaning, and authenticity. In a world that often demands we reveal everything, choosing to be private is not just wise, it's profoundly liberating. Solitude is often misunderstood, Many equate it with loneliness, a state of isolation that leaves one feeling disconnected or unworthy. But solitude, when embraced intentionally, is the exact opposite. It is a state of profound connection not with others but with yourself. In solitude, you strip away the external noise, the constant demands for your attention, and the endless barrage of opinions, allowing you to discover a clarity that can only come from within. Solitude is not an absence, it is a presence with your thoughts, your emotions, and the essence of who you truly are. In a world that glorifies constant interaction and productivity, choosing solitude can feel counterintuitive, even rebellious. Social media, emails, and notifications pull us in every direction, offering a sense of perpetual engagement. But this constant engagement comes at a cost: the erosion of your ability to think deeply, to process your emotions, and to understand yourself. When you learn to be alone, you reclaim that ability. You step out of the chaos and into a space where reflection and growth become possible. Solitude provides the opportunity to examine your life without distraction. In the quiet, you can ask yourself the hard questions: am I living authentically? Are my actions aligned with my values? What do I want? Not because others expect it of me, but because it genuinely fulfills me. These questions are not easy to confront. They require honesty and courage, qualities that are often dulled by the constant chatter of the external world. But in solitude, you have the time and space to confront these truths, to wrestle with them, and to emerge stronger for it. There is also a profound creative energy that comes from solitude. Some of the greatest works of art, literature, and innovation were born in moments of deep, uninterrupted focus. When you are alone, your mind is free to wander, to make connections, and to explore ideas that might otherwise remain hidden. Solitude fuels creativity not by providing answers, but by giving you the space to ask the right questions. It allows you to approach your work, your passions, and your challenges with a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. But solitude is not without its challenges. To sit with yourself without distraction can be deeply uncomfortable. Many avoid solitude because it forces them to confront feelings they would rather suppress: regrets, fears, or insecurities. Yet it is only by facing these emotions head-on that you can begin to heal and grow. Solitude teaches you that discomfort is not something to be feared, it is a signal, a guide pointing you toward areas of your life that need attention. Over time, you learn to sit with these feelings, to understand them, and to move through them with grace. In solitude, you also develop resilience. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you become less reliant on external validation. You no longer need others to affirm your worth because you have found that worth within yourself. This is not to say that relationships and community are unimportant, they are vital to a fulfilling life. But there is a difference between seeking connection out of love and seeking it out of need. Solitude gives you the strength to build relationships from a place of wholeness rather than dependence. Solitude also sharpens your intuition. In the quiet, you can hear the subtle whispers of your inner voice, the one that is so easily drowned out by the opinions of others. This voice is your compass, guiding you toward decisions that are true to your values and aspirations. When you trust this voice, you make choices with confidence, not because they are popular or expected, but because they are right for you. It's important to note that solitude does not mean isolation. Isolation is a withdrawal from the world, often driven by fear or pain. Solitude, on the other hand, is a choice, a deliberate act of stepping back so that you can engage with the world more fully. It's a process of renewal, a way to recharge your energy and refocus your priorities. When you return from a period of solitude, you do so with a clearer mind, a fuller heart, and a deeper understanding of yourself and your place in the world. Choosing to vibe alone is not a rejection of others, it is a commitment to yourself. It's a declaration that your inner world is worth exploring, that your thoughts and feelings are worth listening to. It's a recognition that, while the world may be loud and demanding, the most profound insights often come in the quiet. Solitude is not a state of absence, but a state of presence with your own mind, your own heart, and your own soul. So embrace the quiet. Turn off the noise, step away from the crowd, and allow yourself the gift of solitude. In that space, you will find clarity, creativity, and strength. You will come to understand that being alone is not a weakness, but a source of unparalleled power. It is in solitude that you discover not only who you are, but also who you are capable of becoming. And when you return to the world, you do so as a person transformed, ready to engage with life on your own terms. Growth is a quiet process. It does not demand attention or applause, nor does it seek validation. The most profound transformations often occur in silence, away from the gaze of others. In a society that values visibility, where success is often measured by likes, shares, and external acknowledgement, the idea of growing in silence may seem counterintuitive. But true growth is not a spectacle. It is a deeply personal and internal journey, one that unfolds in the shadows, unseen but unmistakably powerful. When you grow in silence, you give yourself the space to experiment, fail, and learn without the pressure of an audience. There is a vulnerability in learning something new or striving toward a goal. The process is rarely linear. It is filled with setbacks, doubts, and moments of uncertainty. When you grow publicly, these moments are magnified, scrutinized, and often judged. But in silence, you are free to make mistakes, to stumble and fall, and to rise again without the weight of external expectations. You allow yourself the grace to be imperfect, knowing that growth is not about performing for others, but about becoming the best version of yourself. Growth in silence also fosters resilience. It teaches you to rely on your own inner strength rather than the approval or encouragement of others. There will be days when the journey feels difficult, when progress seems invisible, and when doubts creep in. In these moments, the applause of an audience would be meaningless, for it is not their journey, it is yours. By growing in silence, you develop the discipline and self-reliance needed to push forward, even when no one is watching or cheering you on. This quiet approach to growth is not about secrecy or isolation, it is about focus. When you share your goals prematurely or seek validation too early, you risk diffusing your energy. The excitement and motivation that should be directed toward your actions can dissipate in the act of announcing your intentions. Worse, the opinions and judgments of others can seep into your mind, clouding your vision and diverting you from your path. Silence is not about cutting yourself off from others, it is about preserving the sanctity of your goals until they are strong enough to withstand external scrutiny. Consider the analogy of a seed. When a seed is planted, it does not announce its growth to the world. It pushes its roots deep into the soil, drawing strength and nourishment from its surroundings, unseen and unheard. This foundational work is critical. Without it, the seed cannot survive the challenges it will face above ground. Similarly, your growth requires a period of quiet development, a time to build the skills, knowledge, and resilience that will sustain you when you eventually step into the light. Another benefit of growing in silence is the ability to surprise others with your transformation. There is something powerful about emerging stronger, wiser, and more capable than anyone expected. When you allow your actions to speak for themselves, you command a respect that words alone could never achieve. People may doubt you, dismiss you, or underestimate you, but their opinions are irrelevant when your growth is undeniable. Silent growth is not about proving others wrong, it is about proving yourself right. Growing in silence also aligns with the natural rhythms of life. Just as the seasons change gradually, with each phase building upon the last, so too does personal growth occur in stages. There is no need to rush or force the process. Each step, no matter how small, is a vital part of your journey. By embracing the quiet and allowing your growth to unfold organically, you honor the time and effort it takes to create something meaningful. There is a humility in silent growth, a recognition that the journey is more important than the destination. When you focus on the process rather than the outcome, you become less concerned with how others perceive your progress. You learn to find fulfillment in the work itself, in the daily habits and choices that move you closer to your goals. This mindset not only enhances your growth but also brings a sense of peace and satisfaction that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Growing in silence does not mean you must journey alone. It is important to seek guidance, mentorship, and support from those you trust. But even in these relationships, discretion is key. Share your struggles and triumphs with those who genuinely care about your growth, not with those who are merely curious or critical. Surround yourself with people who encourage your efforts without demanding constant updates or explanations. Ultimately, growing in silence is about honoring your journey. It is about recognizing that your growth is not a performance but a deeply personal evolution. The rewards of this approach are immense: a stronger sense of self, a clearer vision of your goals, and the ability to navigate challenges with confidence and grace. So embrace the quiet. Let your actions, not your words, define your progress. Trust that the work you do in silence will bear fruit in time, and when it does, it will speak volumes about who you are and what you are capable of achieving. Patience is one of the most undervalued virtues in today's fast-paced world. We are constantly bombarded with messages that tell us everything should happen instantly: success, recognition, results. But the truth is, meaningful growth and success take time. They require a deliberate process of consistent effort, persistence, and trust in the unseen progress. Patience is not about passivity or waiting idly. It is an active state of enduring, of committing to the long game, even when immediate rewards are nowhere in sight. In our culture of instant gratification, patience is often misunderstood as a lack of ambition or drive, but this could not be further from the truth. Patience is the foundation upon which ambition can be sustainably built. It allows you to focus on the process rather than obsessing over the outcome. When you understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint, you can channel your energy more effectively. Instead of burning out in the pursuit of quick wins, you invest in long-term strategies that yield lasting results. True growth is rarely visible in the early stages. It often feels like nothing is happening, like your efforts are going unnoticed or unrewarded. But beneath the surface, progress is being made. Think of a tree. Before it grows tall and strong, it must first develop deep roots. This process takes time and is entirely invisible to the outside world, yet it is crucial for the tree's survival. Similarly, your growth requires a period of quiet, unseen preparation. The work you put in during these moments lays the foundation for everything that will come later. Patience also teaches you resilience. When you commit to the process without constantly seeking immediate results, you learn to endure setbacks and challenges with grace. There will be times when it feels like your efforts are futile, when progress is so slow that you wonder if it's worth continuing. In these moments, patience becomes your greatest ally. It reminds you that growth is not always linear, and that even small steps forward are valuable. Patience is what keeps you moving even when the path is uncertain. One of the most powerful aspects of patience is that it allows you to develop a deep respect for the journey itself. When you rush toward a goal, you often miss the lessons and experiences that come along the way. But when you slow down and embrace the process, you gain insights that make the destination even more meaningful. Patience encourages you to savor each step, to appreciate the effort and dedication it takes to build something worthwhile. It transforms the act of striving into an act of living fully and intentionally. Another important aspect of patience is that it fosters self-trust. When you give yourself the time and space to grow, you demonstrate faith in your ability to achieve your goals. This self-trust is crucial because the journey will test you. There will be moments of doubt, moments when it feels like nothing is working. But if you have cultivated patience, you can lean on the knowledge that progress is not always immediately visible. You trust that your efforts are accumulating, that every small action is contributing to a larger picture. Patience also shields you from the pitfalls of comparison. In a world where everyone's successes are displayed prominently, it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. But comparison is the enemy of growth. Your journey is uniquely yours, and it unfolds in its own time. When you practice patience, you stop measuring yourself against others and start focusing on what truly matters: your own progress, your own goals, and your own values. You recognize that success is not a race, but a deeply personal and individual process. Moreover, patience cultivates gratitude. When you understand that good things take time, you begin to appreciate the incremental progress you make along the way. Each small step becomes a victory, each lesson a gift. Patience shifts your perspective from one of scarcity, always chasing what you don't yet have, to one of abundance, where you recognize and celebrate the growth that is already happening. Patience is also deeply empowering because it puts you in control of your journey. When you are patient, you are not swayed by the urgency of external pressures or the opinions of others. You make choices based on what is right for you, not what is expected or demanded. This sense of autonomy allows you to build a life that is authentic and aligned with your values. Ultimately, patience is about believing in the power of time. It's about trusting that your efforts will bear fruit, even if the results are not immediate. It's about understanding that growth, whether personal, professional, or emotional, is a process that cannot be rushed. Patience gives you the strength to endure, the clarity to focus, and the wisdom to recognize that the journey is just as important as the destination. So embrace patience. Know that every small effort, every quiet moment of perseverance is a step toward your ultimate goal. Trust the process even when progress feels slow. Remember that the most meaningful growth happens not in an instant, but over time, in the quiet accumulation of your efforts. Patience is not just a virtue, it is a superpower, one that allows you to achieve more, live more fully, and become the person you are meant to be. Discipline is the foundation of all meaningful achievement. It is the bridge between your aspirations and your accomplishments, the force that transforms intention into reality. Many people mistakenly view discipline as a form of restriction, a set of rigid rules that stifle creativity or joy. But in truth, discipline is a liberator. It frees you from the chaos of inconsistency, from the frustration of unmet goals, and from the regret of wasted potential. Discipline is not about denying yourself, it is about choosing what matters most over what matters now. At its core, discipline is an act of self-respect. When you commit to a disciplined life, you are sending a message to yourself that your goals, your dreams, and your potential are worth the effort. It is easy to set lofty ambitions, but it is discipline that determines whether those ambitions will ever be realized. Without it, even the best plans remain just that, plans. Discipline turns abstract ideas into concrete actions and sustained progress. Discipline requires clarity of purpose. You cannot be disciplined about everything, nor should you try to be. The first step is understanding what truly matters to you. What are the goals that align with your values, that ignite your passion, and that will bring you closer to the person you want to become? Once you have this clarity, discipline becomes less about forcing yourself to act and more about aligning your daily choices with your greater vision. It becomes a natural extension of your commitment to your own growth. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is that it allows you to build momentum. When you show up consistently, even in small ways, you create a rhythm that propels you forward. Each act of discipline reinforces the next, creating a cycle of progress that becomes almost self-sustaining. Conversely, the lack of discipline often leads to stagnation. Without the structure of consistent effort, it is all too easy to lose focus, to drift from one distraction to the next, and to find yourself stuck in the same place, year after year. Discipline also fosters resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. There will be days when motivation wanes, when the obstacles in your path seem insurmountable, and when the temptation to quit feels overwhelming. Discipline is what carries you through these moments. It is the ability to act not because you feel like it, but because you have made a commitment to yourself. This resilience, born of discipline, is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who merely dream about them. It is important to recognize that discipline is not about perfection. You will make mistakes, miss deadlines, and occasionally fall short of your own standards. This is not failure, it is part of the process. Discipline is not about never faltering, it is about always returning to the path. It is the ability to acknowledge your setbacks, learn from them, and move forward with renewed determination. In this way, discipline is not rigid or unforgiving, it is adaptable and resilient. Another key aspect of discipline is its cumulative nature. Small, consistent actions over time yield far greater results than sporadic bursts of effort. The power of discipline lies in its compounding effect. Whether it is reading a few pages every day, saving a small portion of your income, or dedicating just 30 minutes to a skill, these seemingly minor actions add up. Over weeks, months, and years, they create a foundation of progress that can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Discipline also cultivates freedom. This may seem counterintuitive, but consider this: when you are disciplined, you gain control over your time, your energy, and your choices. You are no longer at the mercy of distractions, impulses, or external pressures. Discipline allows you to prioritize what truly matters, to say no to what doesn't serve you, and to create a life that is aligned with your goals. It is through discipline that you gain the freedom to live intentionally and authentically. The practice of discipline also strengthens your character. It teaches you patience, perseverance, and the value of delayed gratification. It challenges you to push beyond your comfort zone, to embrace discomfort for the sake of growth, and to develop a deeper sense of self-mastery. These qualities extend far beyond the pursuit of specific goals. They become part of who you are, shaping the way you approach every aspect of your life. Finally, discipline is a gift not just to yourself, but to those around you. When you live with discipline, you set an example of what is possible. You inspire others to pursue their own goals with dedication and integrity. Your actions, rooted in consistency and commitment, have the power to uplift and motivate those who witness them. So embrace discipline as a vital tool for your journey. Understand that it is not a punishment, but a pathway to freedom and fulfillment. Commit to showing up for yourself day after day, even when it is difficult, even when progress feels slow. Trust that every small act of discipline is bringing you closer to the life you envision. In time, you will come to see that discipline is not just a habit, it is a way of being, a profound expression of your belief in your own potential. In the end, life's most profound transformations occur not in grand public gestures, but in the quiet, deliberate choices we make every day. To be private is to protect the sacred space where you can reflect, plan, and dream without interference. To vibe alone is to cultivate the inner strength and self-awareness that come from moments of solitude. To grow in silence is to trust in the quiet, unseen work that lays the foundation for your future. To practice patience is to honor the time and effort required to achieve meaningful progress. And to embrace discipline is to anchor yourself in consistent, purposeful action, no matter the challenges you face. Together, these principles form a blueprint for living intentionally. They teach us to value depth over appearances, substance over spectacle, and progress over perfection. They remind us that the most rewarding journeys are not those that are broadcast for the world to see, but those that transform us from within. By following these principles, you create a life that is not only deeply fulfilling, but also resilient, authentic, and uniquely yours. So step back from the noise, tune into your inner voice, and trust in the process of becoming. Let your actions speak louder than words. Let your growth unfold quietly yet powerfully, and let your life be a testament to the strength and beauty that come from within. When you live this way, you don't just achieve your goals, you become the person capable of achieving anything. And that, in the end, is the ultimate triumph.